Oh god, Sony, please tell me you know what you're doing this time. Did you learn from your mistakes with Spider-Man 2? I was really excited for that movie, and you pulled the rug out from under me. So Sony finally released their anticipated trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. This movie's actually been teased for a really long time, an animated movie starring Miles Morales, the kid that took up the Spider-Man mantle after Peter Parker died in his dimension. Hey, I'm that Trav guy, and this is things you may have missed in the Spider-Verse trailer. Starting off, for the opening of the trailer, we see Miles walking around in a black and red hoodie in a few select locations. First on a subway, a cemetery, which I'll be coming back to later, and then on the side of the building before leaping off, followed by some really pretty set pieces. We don't ever really see Spider-Man in a hoodie at all, and especially not Miles Morales. But since this is a Spider-Verse movie, it is possible that this is a reference to Spider-Gwen, the Gwen Stacy of Earth 65's whose costume usually has her sporting a hoodie. But this could also be a reference to the MCU, as Spider-Man's prototype costume also has him wearing a hoodie. A red hoodie, to be exact. Going back to the cemetery though, on a tombstone it's easy to make out that written on it says Peter Parker, 1991 to 2018. That had placed Peter Parker at 27 years old when he died, meaning that this older Peter we see later in the trailer could actually be this same universe as Spider-Man. Who knows? A few seconds after we see Miles leap off the building, we see him fall past a sign that at the bottom right of it says, a Fisk Company. Fisk being a reference to Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. Kingpin actually started off as a Spider-Man villain, back in 1967. However, recently he's caught a lot of popularity on the Marvel Netflix series as being an antagonist for Daredevil. He was an antagonist for Daredevil in the comics as well, but it is worth noting that he started off facing off against the Web Slinger. We get a couple good shots of who we can assume is going to be the villain of this movie, and he sure looks a hell of a lot like the Prowler, a Spider-Man villain debuting in 1969. However, in 2011, it was revealed that Aaron Davis is the Prowler. Aaron Davis is actually Miles Morales' uncle, and has even been portrayed by Donald Glover in the MCU. We see the screen flash like this a few times, a reference to the generic comic book-esque art style trope. And right here, we see a bus come up that on the side of it says, The Spoiler. And this is a huge stretch, so take this with a grain of salt, but this is possibly a reference to the Spider-Man character of the same name. I couldn't find out a lot about this character, other than he's, quote, highly skilled in armed and unarmed combat. I couldn't find anything else about this character, so I doubt that this is a reference. To my surprise, the scene that I expected to have the most cameos and Easter eggs in it actually had none. To my knowledge, none of these symbols or signs actually pay homage to Spider-Man. But in this scene here, we do get a few details about Miles Morales' suit. For one, the expressing eyes, which shouldn't be a big deal since this is an animated movie, but it was a big deal for the live-action movie. And this shot of his new suit, which actually looks a lot like a blackish-bluish Spider-Man suit with all of the red details spray-painted on it. Almost like he took the Spider-Man costume and just repainted it, which is a lot more realistic for something that a kid Miles' age could pull off. At the very end, we get a shot of what looks like an older Peter Parker talking to Miles Morales, likely visiting from his dimension, or maybe it's still the same Peter Parker that supposedly died. We also see Miles wearing Parker's Spider-Man suit, a suit he has worn in the comics before creating his own black and red suit. In the same shot, we see this orange and green spider walk down the side of this wall. I actually can't find anything about a green and orange Spider-Man character, but in my research— Oh god! Okay, that's enough of this video for me. If you have any ideas what this spider's colors might be a reference to, let me know. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of my video. If you want to subscribe, click up there when it eventually shows up. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, I mostly do video game related videos, but I do want to keep doing these trailer analysis videos. But the only catch is that I'll only be doing them for trailers that I'm at least familiar with the source material on. So basically mostly just Marvel trailers. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Thanks.